Hey, it's Sofia Wren. As a writer, you might be wondering where to publish your writing or where to read writing if you enjoy reading it. And I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you where I currently am writing. And the only thing that's constant is change. For the last 20 years and more, I have been publishing writing online, and the landscape has been changing a lot. So if you're thinking about writing online, then and maybe it's beneficial to hear what I'm doing. Or if you're just interested in where I'm writing and you want to keep up with me, I'm very honored and humbled by that. Then you'll want to know this too.
Just a warning for you, I'm not perfect, and I can be unprofessional and silly at times.
I just wanted to emphasize that change is the only constant, and I might change my mind. So I give myself full permission to change where I am writing in the future and to have different thoughts. And in fact, I actually meant to make this video before, but I thought I would reach this level of certainty about some things that I just haven't gotten certain about. But you know what? I decided better to just share where I am, and it can change. And I just feel like you can't wait until everything is figured out to write and to share your writing, because if you do that, you might never share anything. And there's so much that we learn in the process of writing and sharing and publishing that it's really important not to hold back too long. I see a lot of people waiting for the perfect setup to share anything. And sometimes you just learn by doing. So I have been definitely a proponent of learning by doing and sharing imperfectly and putting myself out there. And I've learned a lot in the process that I'm happy to share with other people to maybe save you a few of the mistakes and the trials and the tribulations. So I'll share what's working for me right now, where I'm writing, where I'm not. And I also already created a whole video about why I'm not writing on Substack. So if you want more on that topic, you'll want to watch that other video. But as I mentioned there, I wanted to make a video about where I actually am writing. And so this will be that. Okay, cool. So the first place I write, and if you have any questions about any of this, you want me to go deeper into something, let me know in the comments. Let me know. I'd love to do follow up on any of this. So the place where I love the most to write and that I'm most certain about, I am most enthused about, is my email newsletter, which I have begun to call my fun letters, Sofia Wren's fun letters, because it's not really about news. It's about fun and sharing positive energy into your inbox every week with the articles I'm writing, free links to those, with my thoughts and feelings about whatever's on my heart at the time of writing, personal updates for me you might not get anywhere else, and also just links to all the other things I'm going to do, because in this video I'm going to describe a lot of things, and it's quite the laundry list of places that I'm going to show up online. But my fun letters are a place for me to just kind of update people who are interested in my articles on writing, on personal development, on life lessons, on travel and falling in love in Japan, all of those links to things. If I can give it away for free, that will be in there. For instance, I'll share in a bit about Medium. Medium is paid, so if you want to read my writing there, you have to pay for it. Or if you're on my fun letter, I'll give you the link for free, so you can read it at your leisure with my free link. So that's a reason to join me. If you want to take a look at it, there's going to be a link in the comments to my fun letters, and you can preview them and see what kind of stuff I send to kind of try before you buy. If you are very protective of your inbox, I understand. And I only email about once a week, sometimes a little more if there's something going on that I'm really excited about. And whenever I do a promotion where I'm going to email a couple times, I generally will have a way for you to pause or skip that promotion if you're not interested. So I try to be mindful that people want to declutter their inboxes and not go too crazy. So that is one of my favorite places to write, just because as a writer, it's so hard a lot of times for people to see my writing. Like, even if they say, hey, I'm interested in this, if I go through any website or any app or any program like Facebook, all the rest, they all have algorithms, so that way actually most of the time when you go to follow someone, you don't actually see them. You don't actually read them. And it's impossible to be heard, even by the people who have elected to follow you and receive your writing or your content. And that's really sad to me. But the cool thing about email is that I have a much greater percentage of people who actually receive what I send, and I get some information about, you know, how many people open it. And so I can see, oh wow, half of the people that I have opened it. So if you are, I really recommend, honestly, for everyone, if you have any interest in sharing about your writing or your business or your art or anything, have an email list and start it now. If you don't have one, start it before you're ready. Like, seriously, because when you have something to share, you're going to want to have people to share it with, and that's what an email list is for. So if you don't have one, I would love to connect with you and talk to you about it and let me know anything that is getting in your way of emailing. I also have a free class on it, how to make it more fun. And I would love to get into its topic more because it's really changed my life to have this ability to contact people. I ran a fundraiser in January, and I was able to like email everyone that like, hey, we have this emergency fundraiser for a charity in Africa for a girl to help her go to college. We needed the money like within a day. I fundraised it in a day, and I did a lot of things to fundraise it, but one of them was I sent an email out about it, and just one, and it reached a lot of people instantly, you know? So that kind of thing. If you got a business, you definitely want to have that. So I don't want to like go too deep on it right now because I've got other things to talk about, but obviously I'm very passionate about my email list, and I'm very passionate about it. And it took a while for me to get to this place because I used to be very hung up and scared, but now I love it. And I've taught a whole class on it. So I'll put the link to my free, fun email hub to make emailing fun. We can get my free class on how to make emailing fun and other cool stuff that will make it easier for you. So number one was email. The second place that I love to write and share is my blog. So my blog was the basis of everything. So I began my first blog when I was 8, which was, we're getting close to 30 years ago now. But I like to say I've been writing and publishing for like 20 plus years, but I might have to change that soon to be like 30 and counting. But I love my blog. It's been my baby. And then after a while, you know, I started seeing that I was getting like over 500 people, 5,000 people a month come and read it. And I was using a site called Blogger. And I had used a whole bunch of other ones, LiveJournal, Zanga, all this stuff. But I think there's something kind of ephemeral about these different sites and services. Like, things go in and out of style. And so it was really important for me to have my own website. And I did that about 10 years ago, got my own website for my blog. And the con of it is I didn't get as much just traffic from it being under someone else's umbrella. So that's what you lose with having your own blog. But then it's Googleable, more Googleable. I own it, so there's no like issue of something getting messed up because of something out of my control in terms of like a business goes out of business, you know, like I own it, and it's very important to me, and I don't have to worry about like moving all of my stuff from one place to another. This is my home. It's my permanent website home. So that's sofiawren.com, and I try to take the big important things from my email newsletter to my blog. So I tend to just write my email newsletter first and then take stuff from that and put it on the blog, but I don't put the free links to my articles on my blog anymore. I used to, but I've decided I'm not doing that anymore because it's too permanent. So your email will have, you know, your private link to enjoy my article at your leisure, but the blogs will just have the link to the paid article. And that will be the big difference between the two. Also, I might not put everything that I email onto my blog, kind of being a little bit more choosy about that. But I'm trying to be better about updating my blog very consistently from the email. It's a little extra work, and it comes out a little bit later, and sometimes not everything gets on there. So it's like second level. Okay, so then, but there's also information about my business and my services and stuff on there. Or you could always ask me. Okay, so number 3, what was number 3? Medium. So I've kind of I've talked about it already a little bit, that I write for Medium. Medium is a website at medium.com. It's also a membership. So basically, like, for $5 a month, you can become a member of Medium and you can read any of their paid articles for free. So anyone can go on there and become a Medium writer. And you choose as a writer if you want to have your article be paid or not paid. So that's how it works. So basically, like, if I wanted to, I can make all my articles free. And I've decided to make them all paid because, again, I have ways to let my people know how to read it for free. And then new folks who are paying can read the whole article. And that means that I get paid. I get paid to write. I get paid to share. And that's really cool to me, as well as exposing me to new readers and a new audience of people all over the world. So, and it's also very good for Google. So articles that I write on Medium, if I write it there first, and like I don't have the same thing on my blog, etc., then it will show up really high on a Google search. So I like that. I like showing up on Google on the first couple pages. So it's a great thing to get a little bit of a boost there. But I wouldn't expect to make like full-time money on it. I would just see it as an opportunity to get some new people that you could you know, share your writing with or share your business with. So far so good. I've been there for about a year now and I really like Medium. I really enjoy the people that are there. I really enjoy the commentary that I get on posts. I think that it's moderated well. I haven't had any problems with like mean stuff. You know, it's been very civil, and it reminds me of blogs from back in the day. Like, it reminds me of the old blog communities that I grew up with, that has kind of died to some degree, and it's a kind of communal thing. So it's kind of like having, you are familiar with blogs from back in the day, it's kind of like blogging, but every article that you write for Medium is also individual. So someone could go to your account and see all your articles, but the algorithm of Medium just moves around individual articles. So if you have an article on a specific topic that people really like and it pleases the algorithm, then it will show up to more people. And you can also submit your writing to publications. And because it's almost like an online magazine, that publication will then push out your article to all of the followers of that publication. So they'll help you to reach new readers. And I really recommend, if you use Medium, to explore publications, because that is a great way to expand your reach and who you can share your writing or your art with. Yeah, it's mostly for writing. And nextly, I'll be writing on Medium, and if you want a free link to that, definitely be in my weekly fun letters. I also am sometimes going to share free links on social media, but it's going to be like a limited time thing. So like something you'll see in the stories that will only be up there for a day, something I post and then delete, because I don't want it to be there forever. The only way to get it and like hold on to that link is to get my emails. That's it. Oh, and I wanted to say, I've been kind of differentiating what I put on Medium versus what I put on LinkedIn. So I have a LinkedIn newsletter, but I feel like Medium and LinkedIn are two very different spaces. So I've divided my writing into two kind of buckets. So anything to do with kind of like my thoughts and feelings and personal life is on Medium. So this is writing on my life lessons. This is writing on going to Japan and falling in love with my husband and the funny pranks that he pulls on me that are entertaining and kind of odd. The articles about writing that are informed by my thoughts and feelings, or kind of just things that are kind of in a random bucket that I think provide value and entertainment or teaching to other people, or stories. So that is what Medium is all about. It's a little bit more tender and personal. And LinkedIn, given the space of LinkedIn, is a little bit more professional, and I still bring my own authentic voice to it, but I have a newsletter there basically that is all about writing to lead, because I believe that writing is leadership, and it's a way that we can serve and heal other people through our storytelling and through our writing. And it's got different skills involved when you are writing to lead others versus other reasons that you could be writing. So I wanted to go deeply into that. And so everything that I'm writing on LinkedIn is under that theme of writing of leadership, writing to be of service, and things to keep in mind as someone with that goal or aim. So it could be for someone who's an entrepreneur, it could be someone trying to elevate their career with writing. And everyone who subscribes to that LinkedIn newsletter, like all LinkedIn newsletters, gets an email every time I publish. So I like it because I like emailing people. Again, I find it's a great way to make sure that people really get my emails. On Medium, people can elect to get my writing by email, but it's much more rare than on LinkedIn. So although I have over 500 followers on Medium, I have over 60 subscribers on LinkedIn, which means that every time I publish a new article for LinkedIn, 60 people get an email, versus on Medium, only a couple people get an email, like 2 or 3 or something like that. And I'm also not sure on Medium how many people are bots, because I've actually have like 10 people who are getting emails that all have a very similar email, and I'm pretty sure they're just a robot. Versus LinkedIn, those people are more likely to be a human, although I have heard about bots happening on LinkedIn too, so you don't know for sure. But I think I can see people's names, I can see who signed up on LinkedIn, and it connect to their resume, and I have that sense of they're a real person and they're really getting my information, my email. So I do really like LinkedIn as well. The only thing about it is that you can only have one newsletter, and due to the environment, it does seem like certain topics are going to do better there than others. So it can feel a little limiting just in terms of what I can write about. So I feel like there's things that I share all over the place, but I only have so much to say on LinkedIn because it's a very specific place. But I feel like I've kind of been navigating that sense of limitation and playing with it, and trying to also be creative and recognize that some of that might be in my own mind, or it doesn't have to limit you. You can be more free than you think you can. But I'm still playing with it. It's still only been the first year that I've been on there. So if you're interested in writing as leadership, you can check that out. Or if you are an entrepreneur, I really recommend playing with the LinkedIn thing, because it's a great way to just sort of establish your credibility in an area and connect to people who might want to hire you, because there actually is a pretty good data set on people on LinkedIn that they have higher incomes than other places. And people might be looking to hire on LinkedIn. If it has anything to do with your career and you want to elevate your career, it could be a good place to be. Or if you're speaking to people who are in business or have a career, then that could be good. On Purpose Woman magazine. So I just want to mention On Purpose Woman magazine. I write for them. Every 2 months they have a new issue, and I tend to be in the issues. Sometimes I skip one, but just want to give a shout out to Ginny Robertson for that. It's really my pleasure to write for them, and it is free to read. So if you want to know when I have a new article, I email everyone to let them know who is on my fun letter newsletter. And I also blog about it and share on social media, etc. On my website is a writing page of where I have published articles in magazines and stuff previously. So you can see my articles for previous issues if you want to check them out on my writing page, or join my fun letter for what's going to come out next. Okay, and then now YouTube. So now we are done with the writing, the big ones. I'll talk about the social media soon, but YouTube is also long form for me. I tend to do long videos. This is a long video already. And I also do some short stuff too. I'm trying to be better about any video I make, putting it on YouTube, even if I made it on a different site. I think YouTube is amazing because I started a YouTube channel at least 7 years ago, and I can still see those videos, and I can still see what I looked like, when I was 25 and all this stuff. I guess it's been almost 10 years. I don't know. It's been a while, but those videos are really precious to me. And so I think a lot of people are scared to show up on video, and I know I was. But I think it's great to push yourself to be on it and try it out and, just have that documented. I just think video is so great. And YouTube is basically like a searching site, like Google. It's really great to put yourself out there, and you can definitely, you can definitely get, I've had videos that have been super old that suddenly the algorithm like is moving around and a lot of people are seeing it. So it's been surprising to me, you know, what can do well on here. Although it is also something that people can spend a lot of time learning. Yes, there are full-time creators on YouTube and making video can take a lot of time. So I'm not personally like aiming to blow up on YouTube right now, but hey, I wouldn't kick it out of bed. But I have a couple channels because somebody that is expert on YouTube told me that it's really good to have different channels for different stuff, because the way that the algorithm works is that it will recommend other videos to you, you know, if you like a video that's on a channel. And so if the other videos in your channel are very different, then that person won't watch them or like them, and then that will hurt your ability to reach more people with the algorithm. So I've kind of taken a middle ground to that, because this channel, my Sofia Wren channel, is very mixed. Like because I started it so long ago, I've come through the gamut of different topics. I've talked about personal development, I've talked about spiritual stuff and tarot cards, and I've done EFT tapping, and I've talked about writing all the way through that. But in recent years, I've focused a lot more on writing and teaching writing to other people. But I also just want a place to share authentically and make a video that I didn't have to agonize over. You know, sometimes I plan these a lot. Lately, I've been doing a lot more planning. But sometimes I just like have a video I made and I want a place to put it and share it with folks who might be amused by it or learn something. So that's what this channel's for. I try not to think about it too much, you know, in terms of being really niched, but to some degree it is kind of focused at this point on goals, writing, personal development, and just me being me. But I have another one that's very specific. There's only one video on it for that reason, and it's my vlog channel called Sofia Wren's Life. So far, the only video on it is lessons from my dad's 1-year death anniversary, which is really, really, really well received. Thank you so much, you guys. That video was really polished. That took me like at least like 2 weeks to make, and many, many hours to think about and develop into the place where I could do that. I mean, I can't really quantify how many hours it took, because it was a really big deal. And it's still a story that I really, and a video and a message that I really am moved by. So it was worth that effort and that time and that energy and that kind of intentionality. So that obviously is just such a step above with music and lots of video editing and cuts and videos from my life and stuff. It's just such a different thing than this channel that I decided to make its own channel, and just kind of keeping that really intentional. And I'm not aiming to do that every week. It's been a year since I did that video. I've been working on another one, but it just is really slow going because now I've set the standard and I gotta bring it for video 2, you know. It's gotta be good in the same ballpark as video 1. So it's just a different level of polished, and also it's specifically about my life and the deep things I want to say about life and grieving and where I'm at right now and what I've been dealing with. So that's very special to me and very specific. And then I also have a Writing is Leadership YouTube channel where I've interviewed several people about writing as leadership themes, and those are really good interviews. I really recommend them. It's a brand new baby channel, so I think it's only got like 1 subscriber at this point, but please subscribe because it's great. And I just figured people who are into interviews might not be into me just talking alone, or stuff about my life. You know, it just feels, again, different enough to be its own channel. And I hope to continue to use that channel for a long time and building up this concept of writing as leadership. I think we have a lot to talk about and a lot of people to discuss it with. Okay, but again, I recommend YouTube. I recommend having your own YouTube channel before you're ready, because you can always just hide things if you don't like them, but it's really cool to have videos. And yeah, videos are powerful. I almost forgot, there's one more place that I want to mention that since I recorded this video, I remembered and have new plans for, which is Patreon. I'm really excited to post more things on Patreon, including music. I've been posting music, original songs that I write there for several years. I'm going to continue to do that. And also I am planning to share personal writings there that I don't want to put anywhere else. I want to have a little safe space where there's a paywall of $1, and if you pay that, then you can see all of my songs, and you can also see the personal writing that I'm going to add there, which is stuff that I don't want to show up on Google. I don't want to put it on social media. I want to keep it in a safe little cozy environment. And I've done this kind of things before with like Facebook groups, but I want to have this territory be paid. And I believe I will be sharing things, maybe even Google Docs, where people can leave comments and things like that. It's very easy to like put in files and links and things. So we will see how that goes. Okay, now for the little stuff. We're gonna get into social media. This is the stuff where I am just not as certain about how I'm gonna use it, where I'm gonna be with it in the future, and it's probably the stuff that changes the most. Just a couple months ago, I quit Instagram altogether after 10 years of using it like obsessively, because I think that social media is bad for my mental health, and I have been addicted to it, and I just have been realizing that, and also just aware of any little conflicts that happen between people. The way people talk on Instagram specifically just feels really toxic to me sometimes, and the expectations that people have and judgments people have of each other. It's just not very nice. And something like that can really drag my day down. So I don't want to be as emotionally dependent on it and going through an emotional roller coaster as much. And I also, as a writer, don't want to only write little teeny things that are here today, gone tomorrow. I want to write enduring things that last. That just like how my YouTube video, I was saying for my vlog, was so enduring that I keep coming back to it. I'm going to come back to it for the rest of my life. That's the kind of stuff I want to spend my energy on more. So I do love the connections that I have through social media and that I've built, and the friendships and the opportunities that come from communicating via those platforms is really powerful, and it can't be denied, especially if you're a writer, a creator, an artist, or a entrepreneur. There's a lot of people who have been successful and don't use social media though. So it's not make or break. It's just that I've been using it for a long time, and so it is hard to walk away. So I have come back to using Instagram, surprisingly, but I think in terms of my social media platforms, Instagram is one I have to be very careful about. So I won't be posting there often anymore. I used to post like every day. I'm not going to post there often, but I will be showing up in stories probably more often. I really enjoy the here today, gone tomorrow aspect of stories, because it's a great place to be vulnerable and to share authentically. And also I can do something that's a little bit longer with the stories. And yeah, anyway, so watch for me in the stories on Instagram if you use Instagram, but I probably won't post. And if I post, you probably won't see it because the algorithm hates me. And also Facebook and Instagram, the way they work is my stories are on both are the same. So that's what makes it easy for me I can share on Facebook stories and it can show up on Instagram. I don't necessarily need to be on there and like triggered by something. And so Facebook, actually, I have been enjoying posting lately, like actual posts. And I have a wonderful community there that seems to see me a little bit more than on Instagram right now. And I love my Instagram community. I'm not as seen there. So it's not paying me back for my efforts as much. Okay, and then the other thing that I want to mention is Threads, because I didn't think I was gonna like Threads. I think I made a video about when Threads came out. I was like, oh my god, not another thing. But I've actually really come to like Threads, I think because it's so simple. I just really enjoyed the simplicity of it. It's easy. I can just do a little text message, and I dig it. And so that is somewhere where I am sharing. But I will be honest that I'm trying to reuse my content more. So things that show up one place, I'm trying to reuse them like a lot of places. So pretty much everywhere though does have unique things, but let's say like 60 to 80% of it's probably the same across different platforms. So wherever you like to hang out, enjoy. Because if it's there, it might be the same as other stuff. But some of it might be different. So you gotta join my fun letter to get everything. All right, so, and I just wanted to say before I stop that Pinterest is something I don't really use that much right now, but I still have my account. I used to share a lot of stuff on Pinterest, and I would like to do that again. So that's something that is on my radar, and we'll see how I can make that work in the future. So once again, thank you for watching. Thanks for being interested in my experience. This was a lot. So if you have any questions about something specifically, let me know. Let me know where you're enjoying writing or reading. 2024, where is it going to be for you? How do you enjoy absorbing people's thoughts and feelings and emotions and sharing your own and sharing about your business or your book or whatever's going on with you? I love to hear what's working for you. Again, I don't use Substack, but I have another video about why I don't use Substack and what specifically about it bothers me. I don't think it's the same as other people necessarily, so I wanted to share. And if you're curious about my thoughts on that, you can check out that other video. So I hope to see you in the comments or see you another time. Thanks a lot. This has been lovely, and lots of love from Sofia Wren. Ciao, ciao.